Oh my goodness, welcome back. We're doing it, y'all. In this episode of Learn to Play Yu-Gi-Oh, I am attempting to discuss the chain. So today's lesson is introducing the chain. I want you to really key in on that word introducing. Okay, the chain's complicated. I'm going to make quite a few videos about the chain, but for today, we are just going to get to the very basics of the chain in Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's get into it. What is the chain? The chain is the way that effects resolve in Yu-Gi-Oh! So anytime you activate a card, you are chain 1. The chain then is another player can respond to you. They're chain 2. Another player responds to you. They're chain 3. And then we work backwards and we resolve the chain. There are certain things in Yu-Gi-Oh! That do not start a chain. So a chain is whenever you activate a card. Things that do not activate, things that do not start a chain are normal summons, inherent summons, and continuous effects. Pretty much everything else, if it's activating, you're doing it already. You're starting a chain. We will get into things like priority and timing. Like I said at the beginning, there's a lot to the chain, but just on a very base level, let's look at some examples of the chain. I am planning on finally using online simulators, and I can make videos showing the chain on that, but just for the very basics, I'm just going to show you cards. We're going to talk about how they would chain. So in this example, I am turn player. I am activating backup ad ignister in my hand to attempt to special summon. Because this is activating, I am chain 1. Let's say you, my opponent, have Dominus Impulse in hand, which says if your opponent controls a card, so in this situation, I control Cyber's Wicked on the field, I control a card. You can activate this card from your hand. When a card or effect is activated that includes an effect that special summons, negate that effect, and if you have a trap in graveyard, destroy it. So, chain 1, activate backup ad ignister to attempt to special summon. Even if you don't have a response, it's still a chain. I was still chain 1. Anytime you are activating a card, it's a chain. So chain 1, backup ad ignister, attempt to special summon. And then you go, chain 2, impulse to negate. And then let's say you have a imperm, you have a trap card in your graveyard, negate and destroy. Then I have room for a response. Let's say I don't have a response, we resolve backwards. Impulse will negate my ignister, so my ignister is going to resolve negated, meaning she's not going to be specialed, and if you did have that trap in graveyard, she is now actually going to get destroyed. Another example, I am turn player, I special or normal summon Alphonse! We're trying to learn to play Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 minute, please. Okay, so I normal or special summon Cupsy. Normal summoning does not start a chain, but then I do its on summon effect. On normal or special summon, I activate the effect to attempt to search. That is chain 1. You as chain 2, effect veiler, quick effect. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate the effect. So you are attempting to negate the effect of Cupsy Yummy to stop the search. I now have a chance to respond. You guessed it, I have the Called by the Grave. Chain 3, Called by. Target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, and if you do until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated. So then you can have a response. Let's end it here. Let's do a 3 chain. Chain 1, activate the on summon effect of Cupsy Yummy, attempt to search. You, chain 2. You are going to chain Effect Veiler to discard it to the graveyard and try to negate the effect of Cupsy Yummy. But I say, no. I'm going to chain Called by the Grave on your Effect Veiler. Now we resolve backwards. Called by is going to banish and negate your Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler resolves negated. Cupsy Yummy, I get my search. So as a review, we've talked about a bunch of different types of effects, right? We have ignition effects, quick effects, trigger effects. Ignition effects are pretty much always, I can't think of a single example when this wouldn't be true, but someone probably knows more than me. Ignition effects will be chain 1, meaning you cannot respond to someone with an ignition effect. You can respond to someone with a trigger effect if the trigger has been met, or a quick effect. So let's look at an example that is a trigger being met that would then go onto the chain. Okay, I'm turn player. Chain 1, Yummy Surprise. I'm going to target my Yummy Snatchy and my Cupsy Yummy to bounce them back to my hand. I will also target your Dracotail Lucius and your Dracotail Phimena to bounce them back to your hand. Any response? You don't have a response? Okay, I can continue on my own chain. I will now chain 2 Yummy Snatchy to Quick Synchro. No response? Okay, it's going to resolve. Yummy Snatchy is going to allow me to quick synchro using the Yummy Snatchy and the Cupsy Yummy to go into a synchro monster. Yummy Surprise will then resolve as much as possible. That's the thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! That tripped me up for a while about the chain. It's going to resolve as much as possible. Cupsy Yummy and Yummy Snatchy, they're no longer on the field, so they can't go back to hand, but your Lucius and your Phimena are, so they will go back to hand. I'm going to quick synchro into Cupsy Yummy Way. So here's the deal. That chain has now resolved. So now, as the turn player, I have the on-summon trigger effect of Cupsy Yummy. But let's say you, Draco Tail player that you are, have Arthalion in grave. This has now also met a trigger that can go on the chain. So if we see right here, if 2 or more monsters are sent to the graveyard at the same time, when I quick synchroed my Snatchy and my Cupsy, they both went to the graveyard at the same time. So Arthalion has now met its trigger. So I would be chain 1 as turn player. We'll talk about priority and timing and all that in another video. I'd be chain 1. You'd be chain 2 for the Arthalion. We would resolve backwards. You would special summon this card, the Arthalion, and then I would get my search. Now, let's say I had 2 monsters that left the field at the same time, but I don't have any quick effects, trigger effects, right? You could have Arthalion be chain 1. It has met the trigger. Now it is up to you as the player to remember your triggers. It's a very big thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to remember your triggers if Arthalion has been triggered because there is a window. Again, timing is a thing. But adding to the chain can be trigger effects such as like Arthalion met its trigger. It'd be added to the chain. Espy is another one that can meet a trigger. There's a lot, but it can also be quick effects or, you know, if you're the turn player, you have prio to add things to the start. I'm getting myself words. The chain is hard, y'all. The chain is hard. Okay, look, let me try to run that back. Basically, quick effects, trigger effects can get added onto the chain, or they can be chain 1. Anytime you activate a card, you're resolving a chain, even if it's a chain of one thing. Ignition effects are pretty much, let me know if I'm wrong on this and if you guys have an example, but ignition effects are chain 1. You're not going to be able to be like chain 2, Dormouse to ban. It's not a quick effect. The trigger hasn't been met. If the trigger has been met, you can start the chain with it, or you can continue the chain with it. If it is a quick effect, you can start the chain with it. You can continue the chain with it. If it's an ignition effect, you can start the chain with it. And chains resolve backwards. So I think the highest chain I've gotten up to is like a chain 8. And so you resolve backwards. Chain 8 resolves, chain 7 resolves, chain 6 resolves, chain 5. You resolve everything backwards until you get to chain 1. And that is important for certain things. Like, for example, there's times I've wanted to chain to a nib and it's not going to do anything because that nib is chain 1. It's going to blow up everything, even if I summon something else out afterwards. So this is just introducing the chain. Very basic, introducing the chain. We will get into all the other things. I hope this was helpful, but basically the chain is when cards are activated and your ability to respond and get into fun, little headache-inducing Yu-Gi-Oh! Games with your friends. Don't we love this game? Makes my brain hurt sometimes. Okay, compulsory Alphonse, come here. You were so mad earlier. Do you want to tell the people what you were mad at? Come here. Okay, they all heard you. He's acting like y'all didn't hear him freak out. Come here. Come on. Tell the people. Tell them. Say you were being bad boys. You were being bad boys. He says he was protecting the house. I say you were being bad boys. He's so cute, though. We forgive him. Okay, until next time.